YouTube brothers and sisters, what's going on? Guess what? I'm actually cooking some Alberta beef. The reason I say that is because beef prices have gone up so freaking high. I haven't been able to afford it. And I've been living off, it's not a bad thing, but I've been living off whole turkeys and eggs. You buy a whole turkey, do it up in the roasting pan in the oven. Cartons of 30 eggs. And then that's all I'm trying to buy. The rest I get at the food bank. A lot of us here in Alberta and Canada, because of the cost of living and the inflation and the minimum wage isn't going up, rent's going up, food's going up, taxes are going up, everything's going up. Everybody's having to make cutbacks. And where do you take the cutbacks out if you can't take it out of your rent? You got to pay rent. You can't take it out of your insurance. You got to pay car insurance. You can't take it out of your bills. You got to pay bills. They cut your power off. The only place it could come out of is your food. So, and this isn't just like lower middle class people like me living paycheck to paycheck. This is like middle class and upper class that's having to make cutbacks. Just gonna pour some orange pepper in there, courtesy of the food bank. Some green onions here, and I'm gonna chop up, courtesy of the food bank. One good thing about the city I'm in, Edmonton, Alberta, I mean, there is resources out there if you need them. My number one resource, I guess, would be self-reliance, knowing that if anything happened to the point where I didn't have a roof over my head, especially with spring around the corner. I know this sounds scary to a lot of people, but I mean, it's not going to kill you, and that's simply having your basic camping gear that you would have if you went camping, but I call it survival gear. And be prepared to live out in the river valley. For me, it would be the river valley because that's where I'm close to, and I could take my survival stuff down there. Live the whole summer down there, spring and summer if I had to. I mean, I did van life. A lot of people think living out of your van is impossible and it's scary, and how are you gonna eat? How are you gonna go to the bathroom? How are you gonna shower? But there is ways, and it's not like, you know, for me being out there, it's not like I'm an alcoholic withdrawing or needing money for booze or begging for money on the streets or for drugs, you know, going insane because of smoking like crack or meth, or, you know, shooting heroin, whatever the case may be. I'm a strong, healthy guy, and this is what it's going to be in the near future. Already happening now is it's not just going to be the drunk or the crackhead or the the drug addict that's homeless, it's going to be regular people. And I mean, it's happening all over the world. People are displaced from disasters. People are getting sick because of the jabber and not being able to work. It's happening all over the place. So people are going to have to survive, and it's not always going to be within their comfort zone. And I think for the people that have always been low-key and in the survival mode are going to be able to adapt, but the people who have been fed the silver spoon and have always had a fairly easy life are not going to know what to do. They can go into anxiety and lots of stress and panic attacks. And you have to be reassured that if you're going to go into survival mode, that if you have to, that you're going to know have some survival tactics. Like I do have a simple book here, Survival Secrets. I mean, and that's just the bare necessities. I mean, survival out in the bush isn't all that complicated, and a lot of times your natural instincts will kick in, and you'll do what you need to do. And I mean, you could be afraid of death per se, but I mean, everybody's going to die sooner or later, and it could happen to anybody at any time. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. A guy that's surviving out in the bush can live longer and healthier than a guy that's in the city with lots of money, and his health is suffering because of cancer and all kinds of other man-made manipulated diseases and viruses and illness that they're using to get the population down. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, material items and possessions are basically going to mean nothing to anybody if your health is declining. So, I mean, in all retrospect, reality, we're all pretty much equal. In a man's own mind, he might think he's better than somebody else because he drives a nicer car, or he owns this or that. But at the end of the day, when the agenda rolls out, crashing the economy, it's not going to matter. It's going to matter. The most that's going to matter is your faith and survival tactics, and being able to handle your mentality. Because think of it this way: if you're out there in the bush and it's a warm summer day, and you know, you got your tent set up as if you're camping, and you got food, and you got some clothing there with you, and you're warm, and you got a place to sleep. You really can just find comfort in that. Sometimes, you know, there might be more comfort in that than there is going to a stressful job that's painfully demanding, and driving through extreme traffic and weather conditions in the middle of minus 40 winter. It's not going to be so scary when you're down by the river on a hot summer day on your own time, with a river to fish out of, and some food and some clothing and shelter and a warm fire. nothing to be afraid of at that point, is there? And you just take one day at a time, you know. Nobody ever knows what's going to be around the corner. I always say, hope for the best, but also prepare for the worst. And women need to realize that we do have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, because women tend to be the ones that often become scared and want to ignore everything and become delusional and pretend nothing is happening. Whereas if she's with a strong, educated man like me that does research and Bible study and knows what's coming, that I'm a protector and provider, and if she's going to have to live out of a tent and you know, I have to kill a rabbit and snare a rabbit and pull off his skin and roast it over the fire, that at least she's got a man that's going to keep her warm and keep her fed and keep her protected, rather than some spoon-fed arrogant clown that's going to start freaking wimping out on her and being a little bitch. I guess I'm on the low carb diet now, just simply because I ran out of rice. But maybe it's a good thing that I'm on the low carb diet. Show you what I got going on there. Not too shabby. So like I said, it's always get jacked and ripped no matter what. And if you can, you might want to grow a beard. And if you're kissing a lovely lady, you could always keep that upper lip exposed, so you're in perfect kissing condition.